going on, guys? Today I'm going to be making some changes to my custom wide body. Alright guys, so you probably saw my last episode of the Mustang where I finished up these rear fenders. And I definitely knew that it wasn't completely finished yet, but I just wanted to get the quarters on here to see what it looked like. I was honestly surprised by how positive the feedback was on that video, because to me, I like it from some angles and definitely do not like it from other angles. Like for instance, straight from the back, looking at the top here, it just looks weird. It looks kind of off. I think if that top mount was more parallel to the ground, it would definitely look better. But yeah, so that looks kind of weird. Also kind of same thing from the front. If you look down the car, it just kind of looks odd. It kind of sticks out like too far at the top. And you know, again, that angle doesn't help you. So I do really like it when you're kind of a little bit lower at this kind of angle of the car. So I like the way the bottom of that looks, the way it kind of overhangs the rear bumper there. So I like that. I just really don't like the top. I think it needs to blend in a little better. So I debated on exactly what I want to do, if I want to add something on top of this mount, if I want to redesign the mount to make it flat. So I kind of went back and forth for a while. I had some time to think while I built all of this stuff. But yeah, now looking back at it, I don't really want to put something on top. I don't want to redesign the mount. I know I said I didn't want to do any exposed hardware, but to make this look really the way I want, I think I'm just going to go with some exposed hardware. The only other real option to not have exposed hardware is to weld these quarters back to the car, and I really just don't want to be messing with all of that. It's really not worth it for what I'm trying to accomplish. So what I'm thinking to do is to completely get rid of this top mount, and I'll keep the bottom mount, so that will keep it pushed out at the bottom like that. And then what I'm going to do is basically just bring this into the body of the car, so that when you look at it from here, it'll kind of start like at the body of the car and then flare out at the bottom and then stay basically looking the same in the bottom section. So I'll pretty much completely keep this look, but then it should blend into the car a lot better on top. And you might be wondering, if I put that right on the car, how's the rest of this gonna stay out and how's it gonna still clear the tire? Well, the bottom mounts will help with that. The other thing I can do is, as I push this over to the car, if I also push it down a little bit, that will make it flare out. And basically I need it to match the way it looks now by the time it gets down to about here. And then when it gets to the bottom back here, I'll still have that mount, and I'll also have the mount here near the side skirt. And I'm going to attempt to not screw up the paint that I spent so much time on, but then I will have to be drilling a few holes in the top here to mount it. So I'll start taping everything off, get the quarters uninstalled. I know I'm gonna have to cut off the studs that I added to the quarter with adhesive on the top section here. And then I'll start looking at exactly where I need to add the holes. Okay guys, quick update. So the good news is I realized I will be able to just flex the quarter panels down, and that will bump them out enough to clear the tire. The only issue is that the rib nuts that I already had in the car were a little bit too low. It wouldn't look right if they were that low, and there also needs to be like a little bit of a gap by the time it gets down that far, so they probably wouldn't even work. So I decided to drill some new holes. As you can see, I also went with 5 across the top instead of 4 like I had it before. There's a little bit more force now on this because the fender is being stressed a little bit because I'm pushing it down. I also think 5 will look a little bit better as opposed to 4. And so far I have the holes drilled on the right side. Now I need to go to the left side and put the fender up and mark and drill the holes. I may need to enlarge this little cutout that I have for the fuel door, depending on where it ends up after I flex this fender. And so once I get the holes drilled on this side, then it'll just be a matter of installing the rib nuts, just like I did last time, and putting the fenders on and see how it looks.